Hello students. Today we are going to see about how to write a story. A story is a connected series of events told through words, sounds or images, typically to entertain, educate or inspire. To entertain readers or listeners, and stories convey ideas or messages also. Stories are created from olden days where it invokes imagination for children and for even adults, and this helps the work of imagination and the work of brain to envision the possibility and the impossibility. Now let's see about the purpose of story. Story is to entertain readers or listeners. It conveys ideas or messages and it helps experience different emotions, cultures and perspective among the readers. There are more types of stories like fiction, non-fiction and even the science fiction and those kinds of things where it has genres to it. Let's see about key elements of a story. Key elements of a story is first one important thing is characters. Characters plays a major role in a story. Without that, a story will not be created. So here the characters can be people, animals or any beings who take part in the story, and this includes main character and the opposing character, which we call it as protagonist or hero, and villain, heroine, side characters, etc. And then the second key element is setting. Setting is the process of a story, when and where and how it happens. That is a reason setting is there in a story, which tells about the time and place of the story where it happens, and it also adds a context and the main thought process in a story. The next third key element is plot. Plot is a sequence of events that continue to a story from the beginning to the end. It correlates with every incident to become a story, and that is what it has a narration in it. And this includes the beginning of a story, the conflict in a story, the climax of a story and the resolution of the story at the end, where the plot is main crux which holds a story among with the characters and the setting. Fourth key element is the main thing, a conflict. Conflict is related to characters, and this creates a main problem among the characters. This phase is called when the characters challenge something in their life in the story, and this can be both how the character experience and how the readers get to know about the characters, in what situation the character is left to. Then after reading the story and after knowing the plot, we come to know about the theme. The theme is the underlying message of a story, and the narration makes the story to analyze which kind of theme and genre the story brings about. The story is the progress of brain function, where it helps to brainstorm and generate some ideas through visioning the story. And here the topics all can be various topics for a story, and that should be in a suitable way for a suitable topic for that story. So here, how to write a story is, we have to think about the topics which we are more interested in it, and then we have to check with the real life situation or any other inspiration, how to write a story and what process of story we'll get through it. In that, you have to ask questions for yourself to ignite the creativity for you to write a story. So when you're writing a story, there should be a continuity, and so when you're following a continuity, you have to follow certain tools that can be like journal or a mind map, where you can show a continuity in the character sketch or in the plot, like that. And then you have to sketch your character, how what type of character the person will be in that story. What if the alien kind of people will be as a character, or a human being who's affected, or a normal character who's changing into someone else. So these are all the thought process where you have to sketch a character to find a proper narration for the story. So this comes under building characters, how we are building a characters and setting the characters. So according to the characters with their personality, name, desires, the flaws and the goods of the characters, we have to think about the background, that is setting. It can be the description of a time, that is past, present or future, and the place, whether it is a real or imagination. So that have to be set so that it can be experienced by the readers in a proper way. Then the structure of the plot is that the structure of the plot comes with the introduction of characters and setting, that is called as exposition, and the series of events that build tension among the characters, that is called rising action, and the turning point with the characters is called as the climax, where it brings the story to an end with the narration of the character, where the character leads to and what does the character find its problem. Next is your falling action. Falling action is where after the climax, the resolution problem has to be solved by the character, so that is called as falling action. And then the resolution is where the problem is solved, like how the character has been changed and reformed in the story. So this keeps the readers to be to show their interest in that story, and the continuation of to read the story enlightens the spark in these kinds of plot narration. And then the writing process, so these all should be thought in the first, and it should be taken as a hint in a rough draft. So then about the perfection is when the writing process starts. The writing process should be in a perfect manner, where from the draft you have to rough draft, you have to correct it in a fair draft. So you'll be focusing on the process to tell a story from the beginning to the end. And the other things which we have to check during a writing process is the sentence pattern, the grammar, the spelling mistakes, and those things should be checked twice in your writing of a story. So next, the final process of storytelling to be a success is the story should reveal some emotion, and the characters should be alive so that the readers can imbibe their emotion out from the story, reading of the story. The balance of the story should be proper. It should be some kind of impact to the readers. And when you are starting to write more, when you're practicing it more, the writing process comes on your way, and your story will be a success.